Hey everybody. Man, this has been a crazy night. Once again, I want to thank everybody for the sound bits and everything like that, and all the parts that went into that. Here's something crazy. I had three or four people come to me, and they like, you use a lot of different devices. What is a cheap way to have a good cell phone camera? Um, or like a good camera. All right, one thing I want to say, I have a disclaimer here. I am not a DSLR guy, but I do know this much. I know that the minor port part that you gotta have is 25 megapixels. Well, I'm not gonna tell you to do that. I'm gonna tell you something simple. What I did is I went out here. This is a Windows phone, as you can see. Well, can you see? Let me turn it on real quick. Um, well, maybe it won't cut on. There it goes. Um, these phones right here. This is the non 50 Lumia XL. 20 megapixels. Not 25, but 20 megapixels. This phone came out 2015 or so. This phone still shoots better than most of the stuff that's out right now. You can find this phone on Amazon, um, eBay especially, um, fairly cheap. And yeah, I know it's Microsoft. I know I'm an Apple guy. But in comparison, I threw this phone up, the old school iPhone 6, the Galaxy Note 8, which has two cameras, and where's my other phone? I had everything lined up here. I misplaced it, but I'm shooting on my iPhone 11 Pro. So there's cheap alternatives to taking pictures, and I'll show you real fast. Like you can actually see it because I'll flip it around the other way. Um, Looking at me, that's 20 megapixels. That camera right there, I'll put it up fairly close. Carl Zeiss, the lens. They are cheap, and there are alternative ways to uh, find things to help out with your podcast. If you need to shoot like some quality video, I definitely say go out there. Windows phones, this one. Heck, I even found an older one, a 950, which has the same type of cameras. Um, I went out there and grabbed this one and that one for 25 bucks. Both of these together, 25 bucks from someone. And they're the cameras that I use 9 times out of 10. I hardly ever use my iPhone or anything else like that for the simple fact that there are so many ways to have cheap supplies and things like that. Like camera wise, like I said, once again, I have no idea about DSLR stuff. I just know the minor deals with that. Uh, so outside of that, the next thing, the sound episode will be up soon. I'll definitely have that up there. I'm excited that I was able to talk to Sean Chapman. I'll be putting up a little post for him and different things like that, and so everybody can reach out to him, and you can get some advice and different things like that. And basically, outside of that, in the near future, like I said, I have the podcast going, where we will be talking about monetizing your podcast, and they're not really secrets. I'm to the point like I'm really getting sick of seeing this crap every week, of some random person that's doing good business telling people, "Oh, pay me $600, pay me $800 to give you some secrets on monetizing your podcast." Things that I will talk about and things that we will debunk. This whole deal about having 10,000 listeners. No, you do not have to have 10,000 listeners uh, to have a podcast going. Anime Genshu, thank you for joining. That's a young guy there also. I forgot he has a YouTube out. He's doing things over there in the anime realm. Uh, Even though you do one thing, you're not a big fan of JoJo Bizarre. But anyway, like I said, once again, if you do need to get a powerful phone that is cheap to use as a camera, I recommend, once again, the Lumia 950 XL. You can buy this phone literally like 50, 60 bucks. online, either at the 950 XL or the 950. These are 20 megapixel cameras. That's 25 megapixels is the standard DSLR, which I know that it's not substituting. But if you're on a budget, or as we always say, balling on a budget, you can find these two phones fairly cheap. And you can go from there. And oh yeah, no doubt that anime Genshu. I still do need you to do a little bit with JJ Bazaar one day. It's a love hate thing. At some point, me and you'll have to get to talking. At some point, I do want to ask you about what you think about Ninja Scroll, Macross, and some of the older stuff, Record of Lotus Wars type stuff. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. There are inexpensive ways to do your podcast, to shoot video, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to use those type of devices," but like I said, Carl Zeiss lens. That's a premium lens there. Carl Zeiss is not any type of joke or anything like that. And like I said, doing your podcast and stuff, you can repurpose things. Like I took the classic iPhone 6. This is the one that goes with my stand when I'm doing all my podcasts and stuff. I set this thing right here just like this. I didn't charge a light, so forgive me. But when I'm filming something or I need something filmed, right here, pop that little Bluetooth camera button out, and bam. This accessory right here, I just with these, this is a DigiPower. I just recommend watch them at Walmart because it went on sale for like $15 or $10, so I bought one. You know, I got a nice little setup whenever I'm doing some behind the scenes stuff. So it's a lot that you can do without spending crazy amounts of money. And these are the things that I try to talk about and I try to get people involved with and let them know, you know, because you spend a lot of money in something and you don't see a return at some point, you know, you kind of feel some type of way about it. So yeah, most definitely, I will be doing a little bit more behind the scenes podcast and stuff. We will be dealing with a few more YouTube podcasters because I'm getting a lot of influx of people talking to me about check out my YouTube and this and that. And I tell anybody that creates content this very simple thing. If you are creating content and you would like me to listen to it, understand this. I have no expertise in anything. The only thing that I will state about me is that I sat there, I worked with a simple formula. I didn't do the original tried and true followers for listeners. No, I didn't do that. I did something completely different that we talked about with the whole Snapchat deal, and that's how I gained a following. The other thing, like I said, when we do this episode on monetizing, is certain things that you can do with the other episodes that are on my podcast talk, like learning your demographics. Those simple things, as long as you're doing this beyond a hobby. If it's a hobby, you know, guys, I am never talking to you guys. I always tell you guys as a disclaimer, if you're doing it as a hobby, no, I'm not the guy for you all. If you're doing this and you're trying to establish yourself or use it as a platform to go on to something else, like maybe you're using YouTube to become the next big thing on Twitch or something like that, or you're using podcasts and you're trying to integrate all three of those, there's so many aspects that go into the marketing portion of it that you can't just rely on intricate and very, I'll say, outlandish posts on Instagram, on Tumblr, and different things like that to succeed with getting a following. And the hardest thing that I had to learn too is that the people in your community, such as the podcasting community and different stuff like that, it's always amazing to have people like collaborate with someone and gain listeners from them and give them listeners. But at some point it just becomes a podcast listening to another podcast and no listeners. And there's a simple way to fix that divide. And like I said, if you look at those demographics, look at how you're doing all that other stuff, those things go hand in hand into building your audience better. Another thing too that I do want to mention, and I'm just going to do it in this video real quietly because it's 11:35 EST, is this. When you have guests on your show, we always get guests and we're very spontaneous and we just go with it. The difference in what I do is this one thing that's simple. I look at my guests and I don't look at the guests that I can charge, but I look at how I can monetize off my guest. If your guest has something they're promoting, a book, a YouTube series, this or this and that, YouTube series until they could do book reviews. They could be reviewing anime, and Anime Genshu's case, where he reviews stuff like that. You can find tie-ins to check out those things and figure out exactly what you want to do and how to monetize them. A great example is I had a guest one that has a book on Amazon. Well, they had a book on Amazon to fully go full circle with it. Um, I did a giveaway. I did a giveaway of their book, and what I call a Legion fan, somebody that's really diehard. You follow the whole deal of like, comment, share, and more people got involved with what they were doing, and more people got involved in what I was doing. The turnout of that turned into a decent profit. The fallout from that, though, was that I did lose, and that day I did lose 7 followers. But like I said, Legion fans are kind of like that. They're going to be there for what they want. But unique listeners, I gained 54 unique listeners. So when you tie all these things in together and all that other stuff, it kind of makes sense. So that's why I said when we do the monetizing episode and stuff like that, when I do it with the other podcaster, we'll go into generalization of things, and it's just like for example, the easiest way to start your monetization, and I will say this part, take for instance a microphone. Let me see if I got one I can throw up here without spilling the Sprite. Like this microphone right here. This microphone is made by Biotech. Biotech is a small company. They make very inexpensive mics, so I can just talk in and do whatever I want with it. Well, with them being very inexpensive, you can go look on Amazon, find this company, and you can go off and give them a light pitch. And inside that pitch, you can decide on exactly what you want to do with it. Those are the type of things that we will actually go into later on. And how just certain things work out in that area of monetization, and certain things that don't work. And the podcast will be out fairly soon for that. I want to thank you guys, and this is my second or third time doing a live. I don't do my live with any announcement. I just do them randomly. So once again, thank you all for tuning in.